So to do the test, you want to get like a tray or something, and you want to get about 5 different types of treat. And these should be a range of types. So for example, I've got a couple of drier special treat biscuits. I've got something a bit meatier. I've got a bit of kibble. I've got some vegetable-based treats, and I have some kind of low-calorie training treats. So quite a range here. And that's important because we want to genuinely see what he chooses to go for. And if they're all much of a muchness, we're not really going to learn much. So I want to see what order he picks these up in. And you'll be able to do this in another room in your house. So don't feel that you need to do it out in a garden. It's just Moose here is the one that I've done the training with. So he's able to just stay there until I call him over. But what we're going to do is very carefully watch in what order he chooses to take these food items. And I've got 3 of each, so I've just put one away, so that there's an equal amount of each as well. And although you might think, well, my dog's just going to run and eat everything, if you've got a real range, that's actually not true for most dogs. Most dogs do genuinely have a preference. Most dogs do prefer steak to carrot, and there's a lot of other things in between. And we need to get an idea of genuinely what our dog values if we want to make the training as effective as possible. So let's see what Moose picks based on what we've got here. Good boy. Ready? Okay. Good. Okay, so he's gone for the low-calorie training treats first. Now he's gone for the biscuits, but he didn't eat all of those before he headed to the kibble and the meatier ones, the kibble being fish. And I'm afraid to say that the vegetable ones for him definitely came in as a last one there. In fact, we've even had a little bit of a spitting one out. So I now know that those vegetable training treats, they're not going to be suitable for him for training. In fact, not even in the garden, because he really didn't find them that enjoyable. He just ate them because they were there. But what that has told me is that I can absolutely use those lower calorie training treats, because he was quite positive about those. And I can also use kibble for him whilst we're in the garden. But let's now do another tray, and we're going to just move them around a little bit to see whether or not he goes for the exact same pattern, or if I move them around a bit, does he then eat them in a different order? So let's have a look. Good boy.
Sit down. Right. So this time I've got kibble in the place where he went first, and I've put some slightly what I would expect to be higher value objects elsewhere, because I want to see, does he still go for bottom left where he went first the first time, or does he skip over to go to some of the others? But I've also got those low calorie treats and those biscuits that he went for. Oh, that was a bit too much of me. Good boy. See. That. Good boy. I crouched a bit too much there, which is normally how I call him over to me. Okay. So this time he went to the fish first, but he did spit it out a bit, interestingly. Then he's gone for the low-calorie training treats. He's gone for those biscuits again. Now he's gone for some meat, a bit more of the biscuit. He's come back to sniff the fish and he's picked it up. And now he's going for the kibble and the last of the low-calorie training treat. So interestingly on that one, I am still really pleased with how much he enjoys the low-calorie training treats, and they are definitely what I'm going to be using in the garden. However, he ate 2, left 1, so he tried a few bits. The one that he ate all of first, we were in the region of the meat over here and the special biscuits in the middle. I say special biscuits. It's as in ones where I bought them and they've said these are treats. So I would say the fish, he was interested, but he didn't eat all of it immediately. So I'm going to say that that isn't as high value. And this time the kibble came last, other than that very last single low-calorie training treat. So what I can take from this, it's in the garden, can absolutely use those low-calorie training treats, and that's going to be my go-to. But when I go out and about, the fact that he left one of them means that I don't want to use that out and about at the moment, because then it's not going to reinforce his brain and rewire his brain the way we want. So that's when, in particular, the meaty stuff that we had here and the kind of treats, the packet treats that he enjoyed in the middle, that's what I'm going to be using when we go out and about. Give it a go. And if it doesn't feel conclusive, just try a few times. And when you do it, you can absolutely have your dog shut in another room with someone in the house, in the lounge, and you could just lay them out on your kitchen floor, bring your dog in through the door and just watch the order that they eat them. But if you can, repeat it a few times just to make sure that your dog is not just going for a specific pattern, i.e. left to right. They are actually choosing what they want to eat. The other thing about only doing it once is that the first time your dog might just go, food on the floor, gotta eat it, and therefore eat everything when they come to it. When you do it a second time, as you may have noticed with Moose, they're more likely to realise, oh, actually, all of this stuff is different, so I'm going to give you a little more information. So I'm very happy with that, and I now know exactly what I would call medium value, low-calorie training treats, and high value, the meat and the packet treats. And then I would call the others lower value. So I might still be able to use them. I could potentially use those fish cubes. I could potentially use the kibble. But actually, because I just want to make sure that my training sessions are as effective as possible rather than wasting my time, I'm going to go for moderate value at home and high value somewhere out and about. Good luck.